Hello booktubers! Today I am trying to make quite a difficult video. It's about this book right here, Night Film by Marisha Pessl. Marisha Pessl is, like a favorite author of mine. I really did love her debut novel, which is Special Topics in Calamity Physics. I read it in Swedish. This is my copy, very beautiful. And I really did adore this book. I thought it was great. And Night Film, I'll tell you a bit about it. It's a mystery novel, a lot of suspense, and it's kind of weird. And it's about this man. He's a journalist. His name is Scott McGrath, and he is investigating a sort of cult filmmaker called Stanislas Cordova, and he investigated him a couple of years back before the story starts, but Cordova knows a lot of people and sort of screwed things up for Scott, so he got a bad reputation, sort of. But now Cordova's daughter, Ashley, is found dead, and Scott takes up his investigation towards Cordova because he doesn't believe that Ashley committed suicide. He thinks there's something wrong, something happening with the Cordova family. And the Cordova family is very secretive, and no one knows what Cordova looks like anymore. He only made a few interviews in his younger days, and most of the people who worked with him in his scary, freaky night films don't talk about him. Most of them disappear, sort of, and the only person who kind of talked to press and stuff is his assistant, who people also believe to be Cordova. And she's a woman, and Cordova is a man, and yeah, and he owns a big estate at the Peak, it's called. So yeah, he's a man worth investigating, and and his movies are freaking scary, and he has a huge fan base, and they got a secret website on Cordova that not everyone gets into that website. And yeah, Scott takes up his investigation, and he meets two younger people during the investigation called Nora and Hopper, and they both have different relationships to Ashley, sort of. And and yeah, those three people look for clues and find clues, and shitty, scary, freaky things start happening. And yeah, it's a mystery novel. It's kind of thrilling. It's a lot of action and bits and pieces you need to puzzle together, and they find out things, and they get involved with. At the beginning, you might just think this is a normal sort of detective novel, but then bits and pieces come together, and it sort of evolves into something else, which I don't really want to tell you because I think that'll kind of spoil you. But it gets more interesting because Marisha Pessl nestles in other things in the mystery, which makes it even more mysterious and weird. And I really. So yeah, that's basically the plot. Scott tries to find out what happened to Ashley along with Nora and Hopper, and he also wants to know who the hell Cordova actually is, because no one really knows. And this book is beautifully designed. I really love this cover, this edition. This is the American one, I believe. I think the UK one is freaking ugly. I cannot understand that cover. It's So yeah, this is the dust jacket, and the inside flap is gorgeous. It's these red trees. I think this speaks a lot for the novel itself, and the hardcover just looks like this, very pretty. And Pessl, like her first novel, got a few interactive things in here. I think if you have a smartphone, you can actually get more of the story whenever you see a type of bird logo, which I can't see right now. It should be here somewhere, I don't know. But these are sort of things she includes. These are articles that Scott McGrath has collected, and you get to read this with him as he goes through them throughout the story. You also get to see Ashley Cordova's police papers, I guess it is. So this is Ashley here. And other things, like you get to see what they find on this website that I told you about. That's not really a spoiler. Yeah. But yeah, it's very weird, and if you've heard other people reviewing this, you'll know about the black pages, and I was so excited to get to those, and when I got to those, I was like, that just did not just happen. It's so freaky. It's so, I don't know. I could've, I don't know. Basically, I read the first half, almost half, in 2 weeks, and then I put it down for some reason for over a month, I think, and then read the rest in maybe 2 weeks. So I guess that kind of affected me, and I'm realizing this review isn't sounding too bad, but I am kind of disappointed. I was very excited to hear she was writing a new book, because when I read this, I was absolutely in love with Pessl. This is one of my top 5 books. I adore this book. I want to reread it and talk about it, actually. If anyone plans to read this soon, I'd love to do a buddy read. Yeah, I'd love to do a buddy read for this one. But basically, she keeps her writing style, and I loved reading this. It was kind of fast paced, and a lot of stuff happened. It was descriptive and very detailed, which I loved in her first novel. And the mystery sort of, it's not, you can't imagine where things are going. But something that was different from her first novel, I can't go too much into it because then I'll spoil it for you, but I was disappointed with the ending. I feel like I gave this book a lot. I got so invested in it, and I felt so much for the characters, and I don't feel like she gave me enough at the end. So that's why I'm disappointed. I'm also disappointed. I'm disappointed and frustrated for being frustrated at this book, because I really thought I'd only love this book, but I don't. I did love reading it, but after finishing, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Seriously. Yeah, I can't really say much more without spoiling it for you guys who has not read this yet, and I don't want to say that you should not read it. I actually recommend it. But with my review, I guess I would like to discuss the ending with someone who has read it, if you feel the same way as I do. So yeah, that's basically how I feel about reading Night Film. See you later.